Another foundational subject I'd like to get into early on is morality. I read up on this word, and as is often the case, you can find quite a few different definitions or meanings. The way I would read it is that morality is a system of values, especially in regard to right and wrong. Morality has been a major part of my life, often expressing itself in the form of empathy for others. A lot of people say morality is subjective, and to some extent I agree that it is, but I also think there are perhaps universal or spiritual aspects to it. If there was no sense of right or wrong, what would that mean? Why would we do anything at all if we didn't have preferences or aversions? So, if we are going to have a sense of right and wrong, then why not study it like almost everything else in life and try to improve our understanding? I think in all of my years of learning that the message that still resonates the most with me in regard to this is something like the golden rule. Maybe not exactly how the various authorities or groups word it, but something along the lines of not intentionally treating others in ways in which I would not like to be treated. Especially when it comes to serious crimes like assault, theft, murder, and the list goes on. Seems so simple and so profound at the same time. Imagine if everyone did that and didn't infringe on the rights of others in such ways. The majority of crime, if not virtually all crime, would vanish. I remember there was a philosophy of freedom video I saw on YouTube years ago, which was really good and it helped give me a better understanding. Interestingly enough, I feel there are parallels here with the golden rule. One of the main things I took away from that video is a deeper concept of property, and that even our own bodies are our property. I know some people disagree with the idea of property and think no one owns anything, and maybe that's true. However, I think the idea of property can be useful in ways. And if we own anything in life, I would think it would be our own body. So others shouldn't be allowed to infringe on our property/body unless we give them permission. Similarly, we should not infringe on other people's properties/bodies without their permission. There are exceptions to almost every rule, I think, and we could argue about what property truly is. The point, though, is that I think we should try to respect each other more. The world seems so full of power-hungry individuals who want to forcefully control things, and if you get in their way, it could have serious negative implications. This is, in my opinion, heavily linked back to the immoral threat, initiation, or use of force. If we didn't unjustly infringe on each other, things would be so much more peaceful. Outside of accidents or sports or other things like that, I think that it's usually an initial immoral aggression by one side which often starts a conflict. Unless you're like pushing someone out of the way of a car to help save their life or something like that, you probably shouldn't typically otherwise try to touch others without permission. And likewise, we should hope that others don't infringe on us. However, the world is full of people trying to force themselves on others in various ways. I think this includes the world of animals and the environment as well. Morality isn't just about humans, in my opinion. If you can avoid harming other sentient beings and destroying the environment in a non-essential manner, then that should, I think, be an optimal choice. Whether there is some deeper spiritual meaning to morality or not, I can't say for sure, though I personally prefer to try to be cognizant of these things either way, and for whatever reason, it makes me feel better to try to have a sense of empathy and honor, and to make an effort to reduce being a negative impact on others. Some might disagree, and that's up to them, but I think deep down most of us would like to be treated with respect within reason. And in return, we should respect others within reason as well, to be morally consistent as a sort of baseline. Some of my most memorable and meaningful memories involve morality, and it seems so unfortunate that not enough people seem to take special interest in the subject. I believe the subject of morality deserves more attention. It affects so many sentient beings all over the world and perhaps beyond this world. If we could put more of an emphasis on respecting each other and not unnecessarily infringing on each other unjustly, then that would be a really positive thing in a lot of different ways from my perspective. Unfortunately, a decent amount of people don't appear to care very much, and some even celebrate depravity and immorality. Trying to communicate with them towards different beliefs often doesn't work very well either, as they are often very committed to their ways. But I think it can be noble to try, and I believe it starts in the mind. If you do find someone you just can't get through to, I think at some point it's wise to just accept it. For whatever reason, sometimes we just can't find agreement, and maybe you planted some good seeds, and maybe someday those seeds will sprout and grow, and if not, at least you tried. Now that I've shared my thoughts, I encourage you to share your thoughts if you want to. Feel free to drop a comment on whichever social media is best for you, or you can send an email to exploringthoughtpodcast@gmail.com. I'll do my best to respond if it's reasonable for me to do so, and if I have the time and am able to. Thank you for your time, and bye until next time.